what's good, what's poppin'? What it is, what it ain't, what it could be, what it should be, what it would be. Cam Newton, the son, Mr. Booger, they're all here with another episode of Funky Friday. I promise, I really do promise, ladies and gentlemen, to give good content for the masses, and I promise, just to always keep it funky. I had a second part, but not to belabor the fact, you know what I'm saying? I'm working on self-growth, self-improvement, all the above. Now, where do I start? Because my next guest doesn't really need an intro, but for proper procedures to welcome them in with open arms here at the Funky Friday studio. An Oscar-nominated actor, Emmy-nominated actor, a graduate of Yale School of Drama, very prestigious man, a newlywed. And as I just mentioned over, just, you know what I'm saying, freestyling, my soul brother. I present to some and introduce to others, Mr. Jonathan Majors.
Mr. Newton.
How you doing, bro?
Brother, I'm so happy to be here with you.
Man, bro.
Yeah, this is awesome. This is really awesome. I'm good.
Dog.
I'm good.
How are you, man? Like, it's almost like I really want to peel back the layers. It's one of those things, bro. You gave me the opportunity. I saw you. Shout out to Jason Lee, the
Big
event.
up Jason Lee.
And, you know, we exchanged information. I was like, bro, I just want to rap with you, like on some brother-to-brother stuff. Like nothing commercial, nothing, you know, because in Hollywood, you can find yourself and lose yourself at the same time. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I just really wanted you to know, like, bro, you have a following, you have a support system that really want to see you win. Mm. And as they say in boxing, and still win. You dig what I'm saying? So, how are you, bro?
Well, that was very moving.
Yeah.
That meant, man, I'm good, bro. I'm good. After that, damn, man, you got me, bro. You fucked me up, bro.
Hit that subscribe button. Back to the show.
Why is that? Because I am good. And I mean, we met, and we had a chat at the cafe. Mm-hmm. That was cool. The homie was there. That was cool. And I was like, I like this brother. Yeah. You know, I went home then to my fiance. I was like, oh, I like this brother. And now to be here, to be with you, I'm in the middle of like a press tour. So this is it. I came to Atlanta to sit with my brother and have this chat. And I appreciate you know what I mean? And I'm feeling good, man. Mm-hmm. I'm feeling empowered. Yeah. And your words just moved me, bro. So I'm a little, you know, but I'm really good. You know, I'm really good.
It's one of those things, dog, that, you know, we'll hit on a slew of things. Major shout out to the project that you just dropped or the project that you was a part of, the movie. Mm-hmm. And if you haven't watched it, Magazine Dreams. Yeah. Is something that I didn't even know was in the works when we were talking.
Right.
And I just looked, I was like, bro, like you ripped. Like, are you always this, you know what I'm saying, cut up, you feel me?
Right.
And lo and behold, you hit me a couple weeks ago, it was like, yo, bro, this is my new project, and then boom, it's like, aha. Mm-hmm. But you've always had this physique that didn't really need any enhancement. Right. You know what I'm saying? So how was that, you know, with this project?
Well, so Magazine Dreams, we shot Magazine Dreams almost 3 years ago now.
What?
Right. So I was 33 years old. I'm 35 now. So, yeah. So there's that part. The physique and everything, like that's something I'm actually really excited to talk about because athleticism is one thing, and then working, as you know, and then working the body is a whole different thing.
For sure.
When we saw each other for the first time, I had wrapped that movie 2 years ago.
Wow.
Right, and then I fell down, shit went crazy. They shelved it. Right, Briarcliff, shout out to Briarcliff, picked it up, put it out. It's been out 2 weeks now. We go on video on demand next week, week from today, I think. No, the physique is. I don't view it that way. I don't view the athleticism that way. I view it as, it's like a source for me, of expression, and of growth. So that's my take into it. And then because of the 2 years of just, you talked about growing and trying to figure my shit out and healing, all these things, I just doubled down, you know what I mean? And then the big correlation between my body and my mind really came to a head, right? So I deal with, a lot of people do, but I deal with severe depression, PTSD from a kid, from all types of, I guess it's been out there, right? Sexual assault as a boy, you know what I mean? And all that was I just kind of put all that away, you know what I mean? And then when you train, right, there's a point when the body goes, all right, I'm through with this. You know what I mean? I don't want to go anymore. Even for a dog, you know what I mean? Like, you're like, I don't want to go anymore. But then you hit a gear where you're starting to work from a different source. And for me, that source was like all that pain, you know what I mean? All that misunderstanding, being misunderstood, sometimes by my own actions, you know what I mean? Not understanding people because I'm locked in, but I'm locked in the wrong way, you know what I mean? So the physical journey and the spiritual journey kind of all went hand in hand. And so, yeah, we'll keep it Freaky Friday. Like I keep it tight, you know what I mean? I keep it tight, you know what I mean?
Keep it funky, please. Keep it funky,
yeah.
As we prepare for this show, me and the producers, we was intrigued to kind of ask this in a way like, did you bring your coffee mug? Right?
My coffee mug.
The
Yeah, I know.
coffee mug of like, you would always have this coffee mug.
Yeah.
And where is it? What happened to it? Like, what's the story behind it?
So the story behind it is, so where is it? It's in my bag, right. And it's funny, bro, because I haven't really talked about this. So why I had it initially was because it was this idea I had that my mother kind of posited in me, this idea of, can't nobody fill you up, can't nobody pour you up, you know what I mean? That can't happen, you know what I mean? You are the captain of your own ship, you know what I mean? How you feel is up to you, you know what I mean? What you let people take from you is up to you. What you pour into yourself is up to you. And so that's why I started carrying it around, you know what I mean? And had done for a very long time. And then kind of like this last little push, I've just kind of kept it for myself, you know what I mean? As you can see, I got my chamomile here in a good old paper cup, not plastic, ladies and gentlemen, paper cup. And so I've kind of moved from that, you know what I mean? Because I hit a spot and everything just got poured out, you know what I mean? And I couldn't hold up that lecture, that story my mother shared with me, because I had failed in that way. I had let something pour me out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I thought, you ain't ready for that yet, you know what I mean? Maybe that's a gimmick, Jay, you know what I mean? Or maybe it's just for you. You don't gotta advertise that, you know what I mean? I like it. Yeah, I still got them. Whole collection in the house, but I've internalized that a bit more now. Right. You know what I mean? I'm an art kid, so it goes with the vibe and all these things, and I'm a child of God. You know what I mean? And so I believe in that, and I'm my mother's child. And so taking that mug and trying to put it on the inside. You know what I mean? Really put it on the inside. That was a manifestation of it. You know what I'm saying? I could see it, I could remind myself.
That was a tangible source of it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But then what happens when you don't live up to that? You know what I mean? When you rolled up on the ground and you my friend and fiance and wife, has got to come and wrap her little body around you and say, hey, you got to get up. You know what I mean? You can't really walk around with that cup anymore. Mm-hmm. You got to earn that, or internalize it. And that's what I've been doing. Sorry, it got so deep so quick.
No. It's there, dog. It's one thing that I appreciate you is showing strength and vulnerability. Right? Every time I've seen your work, right, that I can relate to as a black man. Creed.
Yeah.
Harder They Fall.
Yeah, wicked.
You know what I'm saying? Magazine Dreams. You know, one of those things where it's like, oh no. She like, ting. Like I was like, bro, that's
I'm a bad boy on the corner.
like, bro, that ain't black folk. Them some niggas. Damn. I'm like at home. You know what I'm saying?
It's us.
But when this go around of Jonathan Majors has been so tender and so aware of the emotions, like, bro, you're crying, bro, like you're emotional and it's not soft, it's not weak. This is like, this is the dude that's really tapped into this core nucleus of him.
Wow.
And to some, just keeping it funky, it's like, is it fake? You know what I'm saying? Is this desperation? Is this really him? Right? Because one of the things, and I'm jumping around, but
I'm with you, bro.
the thing is, when I seen you for the first time, and even for me, when we were at the Hollywood Unlocked,
Yes, sir.
it hit the blogs in a way, but I was there. And I was looking, I was like, hold on. Them tears, but bro, is it this deep? And then when you start talking to you, it's like, oh nah, bro, this soldier, he wounded. So now that love is hitting a little different. So I relate to that. You know what I'm saying? And then it's so much that hour and a half, 2 hours that we were just chatting it up and just like, bro, stay in touch, bro. I'm gonna be your accountability partner. You be my accountability partner. Like, I'm the friend that's gonna, really, really, you just mental check-in, bro. You good? All right, cool. That's all I want.
Yeah.
And for you to now pop out and still be confident in being vulnerable, bro. How has that process been for you?
I had two roads, bro. You know what I mean? You can, and that's how the game works, right? You know what I mean? Like, you grow up where you grow up, and you see two roads. I came up, okay, cool, bro. You can be an athlete. You can be a dope dealer. You can do one of these things. You know what I mean? Or you can be a pastor, like your mom, right? Well, I chose a different route, right? Those narratives are already set up for me. I chose a different route. I said, well, I'm gonna try to be this artist. I'm gonna be an artist, right? So I went that route. And then shit went crazy. You know what I mean? And the whole world gave me a narrative. Okay, this is who I am. I'm this guy. I don't want to be that guy. You know what I mean? I don't think I'm that guy, but I don't want to be that guy. And then people talk about, a comeback or it's not a comeback. You know what I mean? It's a rebirth. You know what I mean? It's complete rebirth. I think we have to make space for people to have those moments. We talk about it all the time. Oh, well, apologize, do better. But then someone tries to do better, and they go, oh, no, he's full of shit. Well, I don't want to talk about that. You know what I mean? I don't want to touch that part where I go, oh, okay, so now it's not real because you don't want to see it, right? But to the point, something had to die, or I was gonna die. You know what I mean? I was gonna go down a road that I didn't want to go down. You know what I mean? And bring everybody that stuck around with me, daughter, friends, friends. You know what I mean? And then my brothers, everybody was gonna go down. And so for myself and for my family, but I won't stop, primarily for myself. I said, Jay, you can't do this. You know what I mean? Like, don't go that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You canceled, okay, what are you gonna do now? What's that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? That's a real moment for me, right? I'm really asking, what's that mean? What's the definition of it? And now there's a playbook for it, right? Okay, this individual, this entertainer, this athlete has done this. Now we're gonna cancel him, throw the book at him. Well, the court already did that. I'm dealing with that. But then you go into your social group or your work environment, and you have to pay a penance there too, apparently. I don't disagree with that. But the idea of cancellation, in my opinion, and it varies, right? Mm-hmm. And I've said this before, so I'll be bold in saying it. I just think it's incomplete. I think it's incomplete. You fuck up, you fall down, you make a mistake, and then you're in the corner for the rest of your life. Never mind your child, never mind your livelihood, never mind yourself, your self-confidence, I just couldn't have it. You know what I mean? So I chose to go a different route. And that was healing, connection, laughter, all with a battery put in my back with my faith in God, you know? I'm looking around and I see, I don't know if it's a stoicism you have here, you have strength, victory, empower, execute, success, focus. These are all things that I'm about, you know what I mean? I'm about that. But then there has to be forgiveness, understanding, gentleness, vulnerability, connection. And I just chose to go that way, you know? And when we met for the first time, that was the, you know, our brother Jason Lee was like, hey, this is what I want to do. Okay, cool. I thought all the way up until the end it was gonna be canceled. At that point, I mean, everybody saw it. I had all types of shit pulled away from me, you know, jobs, friends. So I had no choice, you know what I mean? I love my wife, I love my child. I had to learn to love me again. So, you know, that's what I can say about that. Yeah. You feel me?
As like I said, we were talking about this. It's like, yo, what do you really want from this? And one of the questions that came up was like, did you feel like your industry friends stopped supporting you? Did you feel like your industry friends turned their heads to you, looked the other way, but still hung out with you on the low? Or did you feel like people just at all turn their back completely on you through this whole transition of public misfortune?
Mm-hmm. I like that, public misfortune. All the above. All the above, you know? Yeah. I had my schoolmates, you know. So I went to Yale School of Drama, right? Pretty cool school for if you want to be an actor. Or if you want to be anything, really, it's Yale,
For sure,
right?
yeah. Yale's stamp of approval is global.
Yeah.
Right.
And so that hurt. You know, I spent 3 years with y'all, and then now I'm hearing things I never heard. You know what I mean? Now I'm like, that can't be. I was there. Had that happen. You know what I mean? So that hurt. I mean, I won't go into it, but we're gonna touch it. You know what I mean? Like we have to, right? And I just want to say, like disclaimer, not to like keep shit cool, but disclaimer because I don't want to hold on to it, right? But disclaimer is, however you feel or felt about me in the past, or even currently, it is valid. It is valid.
Valid in a way that you now know, or it was times for them to make this stance prior to this actually coming out?
I think what I'm saying is, like, everyone has their own experience, right? I'm not in your experience. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? However you feel, I'm sure you feel that that's true and honest, and you're gonna behave according to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same way I do. Same way I go, no, but this is how I feel. This is what I know, and this is how I feel. It's valid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the hard part, trying to negotiate what you think is valid and what I think is valid, and us trying to come together, right? Or sort it out in a way. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I got no hard feelings for it, but were my feelings hurt? Yeah, sure, of course. You know, we supposed to be buddies. As far as industry friends go, I kept the way I approached the work, and still approach it, right, is I'm very, I'll tell you, so I have very few industry friends. That's almost an oxymoron. You know what I mean? Industry friends, like it's a business, right? That's another piece that I take where I go, if you have to say you're an industry friend, you're not a friend. For instance, Michael B. Jordan and I, right? We sat across from each other very much like this. And he's Michael B. I remember when he called me. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, what's up? You wanna do this movie? Yeah, I wanna do this movie. That's not an industry friend. That's my brother. You know what I mean? Just because I do a movie with you doesn't mean we're buddies. Just because we play on the same football, well, football is different probably, but just because it doesn't mean we're buddies.
I get you.
You know what I mean? But Mike's my buddy, you know? David Oyelowo's my buddy, you know what I mean? Guys who you think are friends, you know what I mean? They're just a means to an end in some ways in the industry. This guy is really wicked at this role. He got the muscles. She got the looks. She's really gonna be able to do it in this scene.
They have
right?
this.
Let's stay tight, you know, so I can call you and do this and that and the other, right? Like that's not a secret.
That's just what it is.
That's just what it is.
They have this term in the Army is they're casualties.
Yeah.
Depending on, it doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
It's just casualties.
Yeah.
I'm your casualty, you're my, we're working.
It's transactional.
It's transactional.
Right? Some, like us, some folks we met at an award show.
Yeah.
Right? Ooh, wait, what's that? Like $2 in a dog park. Oh, what's that?
Yeah.
I think I can run around with him.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's exchange numbers. All right, cool. And then we go about our business.
Yeah.
And then we go to the dog park.
Yeah.
Go to the cafe. We try it out. Yeah, this works. You know what I mean? Then they become buddies. So where I am now, it wouldn't be wise for me to take that hit because it's an unnecessary hit. There's no such thing as an industry friend. You're either a friend or you're not. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We're business partners, you know? So, yeah, but at the same time, when everything burns down, you see what wants to grow back, right? I live in LA. Right. I can see what wants to grow back. Oh, this relationship's growing back. Right, this relationship's growing back. This relationship's growing back. That's never gonna come back because that was never there in the first place. You know what I mean? It actually was never there in the first place. That's an understanding, right? From my point of view, I go, that's an understanding. And there's no hard feelings. It's just like, okay, I know where it's at now. So I seem happier and better now? Well, no, I'm a lot lighter now. I'm not worried about this. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about what he gonna say, what she gonna say. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'm worried about me and mine, you know, and my art. Yeah. You know? Does that answer the question, bro?
No, for sure. Yeah, because
you're really good at this.
No, I'm trying, bro.
We chilling, bro. Yeah, I
feel,
yeah.
It's one of those things that even in this platform, a lot of people have their second thoughts because they see the clips, they see certain things, they're saying to themselves, it's like, yo, like Funky Friday is not a destination for me to go there to get my story told because Cam is going to fire from the hip, right? But that's not the case. It's like, bro, like, this is one of those situations where, bro, like, I really wanted this to happen because I've seen a lot of interviews that you've done, but it's like, nah, this one gonna be a little different.
Break it down.
You know what I'm saying? Because what you went through is nothing short of just a potential assassination. And here you are for redemption. You know what I'm saying? Now, that word redemption can carry this connotation of like anger. Can carry the connotation of like, oh, I want my lick back. I want my get back. You're like, nah, you did me wrong. I'm up now. I'm there. But do you have any type of those feelings with people that you know wronged you? And they showed their hand, you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's not. Now when you see them, do you have any type of...
Everybody has a table, right? My life is my table. I'm just not gonna invite you to the table. That's all. I know where to put you now. Same way folks know where to put me, right? I know where to put you. I'm not mad. That's the thing, bro. I was talking to our brother, Jason Lee, and he was like, are you bitter? Are you mad? I said, for what? Why would I be upset? Had I not fallen down, we wouldn't be buddies.
Yeah.
Pal. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't have my wife. We can stop right there. I can stop right there. I can stop right there. I can stop right there. Without 2 years of hell, right? I don't get Meagan. I go through 5 years of hell to get her. Did it hurt? Was it uncomfortable? Was it embarrassing? Yeah. But I wouldn't have got her. And I wouldn't have got me. These past 2 years, I got to go back and get me, right? We started the conversation about, Hollywood and the real world. For me, it wasn't even Hollywood, it was art, it was work. It was like, I dedicated, very much like yourself, I dedicated from the time, from 11 years old, to, this is just training, 11 years old to 25 in drama school. You ain't seen me on camera. I'm just sitting in dark rooms crying and memorizing stuff and working on Shakespeare and August Wilson and all these, Chekhov, the greats, right? I'm working on those things, right? That was all my focus. All my focus was on that. I had no time for I had no time for myself. Yeah, I'd go to the museum and play with my dogs and hang out with my little girl, and these were all, but I wasn't doing it. I was going to the museum because that's where I go to get away from folks and look at beautiful images and use those images in my work. Okay, so that's not for self, that's for work, right? Daughter, right? She's here in Atlanta. I'm running around, shooting whatever, and then coming to her, spending time, taking her out to eat, blah, 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 pay private, cool. But was that for me? Or was that so I wouldn't feel like I'm fucking up?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because Dad's on the road the whole time. You know what I mean? Or was it for her, so she didn't feel like she had no daddy? You know what I mean? She has a stepfather, he's a great guy. But I'm her father. You know what I mean? Is that what I was doing? Don't know, right? Maybe. So that also wasn't for me. You know what I mean? Friends and buddies, I didn't have any friends and buddies. I had scripts. I had scripts and characters. And those were the things I was focused on. And if anything, time, conversation, mother, you know what I mean, family, I would give my attention to it, right? But I couldn't give my whole self to it because in the back of my head, I'm thinking, okay, I gotta shoot this here, Compartmentalized, right? And now there's a wholeness, right? This. I'm not preaching for nobody. I'm just talking to you. Like there's a wholeness that comes when you can dissolve that part of yourself that thinks it's just for that, right? Which I do in my work all the time. I bring all of that, right, into my work. But then I shut it off when I'm working. You know what I mean? Or would shut it off when I was working. So then part of myself begins to, if you don't train the muscle, you lose the muscle. You know what I mean? It just happens. You can't run the same. You know what I mean? You can't keep throwing them like you used to. You lose your wheels. I lost my wheels, but my work was on fire. Career was on fire.
It may have flew over your head when I said you can find yourself and lose yourself at the same time.
That's a bar, yeah. That's where it came from, right? In Hollywood. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly right.
Like you find yourself to understand the preparation for work that you need and the person that you got to tap into, but you lose yourself because Jonathan Majors, Jay, is the person that lost.
Yeah.
I'm too far gone to really be here.
Just watching it.
Like you're a shell.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bro, and this is the thing. Like I think this conversation needs to be had because a lot of this needs to be accountability. A lot of this needs to be, really empowerment. A lot of this needs to be like, yo, bro, like help me, help others.
Yeah.
That goes probably not through the embarrassment or just the infractions, but just like how do you in these cases? It's like from the culture standpoint.
Yeah.
Right? It's a tricky place that you could have found yourself in, or that you did find yourself in. It's like, yo, you're with a Caucasian. And in that, it's like, yo, you got the culture that's like, I told you shouldn't have even been with. And then now it's like, whoa, we've been trying to tell you, I mean, it ain't a lot of us in Yale. So while you're going down, the support system, it wasn't like you had a group or your black people with you. You know what I'm saying? Because a large part of the creation of it was like, this is who I was. You know what I'm saying? How does that really embody how you moved? Because it
Moved or move?
moved, like I'm going back for a second. You know what I'm saying? Just to kind of dabble into a situation that we oftentimes see our strongest, our most famous take a hit from the opposition that has shown itself so many different times. And when you find support systems, it's different than just saying I lost friends. It's almost like, yo, like, what did you expect?
I'll touch on that. I can't speak to certain things.
for sure.
Right? I just want to make sure that's said. I can't speak to certain things, but I'll speak about a conversation that I had, me and Megan had, with one of the OGs, right? One of the political OGs within our community, and because it was a firefight, right? You're dealing with the.
It was a firefight.
It's a firefight, right? So you're dealing with the case, and then you're dealing with the world, right? And in many cases, I mean, yeah, it's not a matter of winning or losing. It's a matter of understanding, right? And the chat was quite clearly, right? Your people ain't fucking with you. And I said, we were sitting in the car, and he's on speakerphone. And I just kind of look over at Megan, and she's got the look on her face like, you know, hang up the phone. And it was like, I mean, he went into like details, like, boo, you know, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting, you know. You know, so I was like,
fatality.
Am I not?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and I go, but no, I understand, no. Like, in the moment I didn't, you know, in the moment I was tore up about it, you know, and asking Megan questions about it, and she was like, I mean, I got a real one. She was like,
no, for sure.
She was like, yeah, baby, that's real. That's what people.
That's the narrative.
That's what people think. You know what I mean? And it's not for me to go out and say, oh, well, what about this woman and this woman and this woman, or these friends, or you know, those things. You know, there's no defense. You know what I mean? I just had to take it and go, oh, I understand. You know what I mean? That was like, that was really eye-opening, right? Oh, eye-opening. Nigga, you ain't think, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but no, it was eye-opening, right? Like, it was eye-opening. And I go, got it. I can't do anything to fix that. You know what I mean? I could not go, okay, cool, let me actively try to fix that. You know what I mean? I was like, that would be insincere.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was living, you know, to the best of my ability, a very sincere life.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I go, oh, so I'm supposed to discredit my history? You know what I mean? Parts of my history? You know what I mean? Not our history, my history.
Right.
Right? I have a hard time with that. You know what I mean?
I think.
But let me just finish.
Go ahead, please.
And then I go, oh, because then there was the other part where it's like, I didn't really take on the fact, I didn't care about being a movie star. I didn't care about being in movies, being in shows. You know what I mean? Like, I just wanted to make the work. You know what I mean? I just wanted to make the work.
You just want to produce good
I just wanted
work.
to make good work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wanted to be artful. I wanted to not let my teachers, my family, my friends, and maybe I was blindsided, but my culture down, which is one of the reasons why I didn't hide from my blackness in my work. I didn't hide from my masculinity in my work. You know what I mean? Like, But then you get to a point where you go, oh no, like people. When it came to my attention, how I had, in some cases, wounded members of our culture. You know what I mean? That's when I was like, oh, that's wild. You know what I mean? And I was so private. You know what I mean?
For sure.
3 years ago, I would never, we would have kicked it. You know what I mean? But I was like, oh,
it would have just been
I would have done one podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would probably done something in LA and been cool. There's the movie and, Good Morning America, and then we're off. You know what I mean? That would have been it. But we have responsibility. That's the other thing, right? Like the responsibility of being a quote unquote public figure. Yeah. Right? You have responsibility.
For sure.
I have responsibility. You know what I mean? Like, if you can be Chat GPT, you have a responsibility. You know what I mean? And what do you want to represent?
Yeah.
And I thought, oh man, I hate that I'm being misunderstood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or that I'm not carrying the responsibility, that I was not aware of a responsibility that I had.
Right.
Or probably more likely neglected. You know what I mean? I gotta wear that.
Bro, and like I say, bro, I gotta keep it funky. I owe a service just to be. I want to speak to your heart. I want you to speak to mine because I was so moved by, our conversations, just your skill, your art as a whole, and it was like out of everything that you cannot and we will not tap into, things that we can't. But I think the thing for the culture for me was the Coretta, Scott. It was like, wait, how? That was one of the things that we looked at and it's like, hold on, hey, are you aware? You know what I mean? This is without me knowing you. This is without, it's just like, hold on, wait. Nah, bro. Hey, wake up. Hey. Hey. Yeah. Bro, and this is the height. This is you with the cross in front of your face. It's like, oh yeah, like Michael B. This is like this is Denzel in Training Day. This is like the culture, and then when it happens, everything is getting slurred. Everything is getting thrown out. You hear people coming out of the woodworks, but like that don't matter. But when you're just like, I just want my Coretta Scott. Like I want you to be. It's like. You feel me? So for me, and I don't want to speak for nobody, it's like, nah, bro. It's like, nah. It's like, how? So when it's not the letdown, it's more or less we look at you, and that's not a lot of us. Or it's not a lot of yous.
Amen.
You see what I'm saying? That gets the opportunity, number one. And it come across like, yeah, that's the
salute,
my nigga. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's the abandonment, let's say, from the culture that was like, okay, bro, what's happening here? And then being very skeptical, like, is this real? Or is this, no, moving past that. Yeah. It's like how you moving, it's like, hold on, is this Jonathan Major's redemption, or is this really how this guy is moving? You feel what I'm saying? Because when we talked, I didn't know what to expect.
Oh no.
You know what I'm saying? And probably you could say the same thing. It's like, bro, and just to paint the picture, bro, we was in LA, right outside. I don't know where we were. We was
by my gym.
We was right outside the cafe, and then, bro, I seen this dude eat a kale salad, salmon, grains, and I'm like, bro, this dude is a specimen. You feel me? And I really enjoyed understanding you.
Thanks, man.
You feel me? Didn't know you was from Dallas originally. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Didn't know you had a background in, athletics. Didn't know you went to Yale. I was like, wait, what? I thought you was... You don't know people's, come up. But to hear that and to see what the world has put out for that narrative to be, it's like, oh, no, bro. So now how you moving, it's like, okay. to see what you're putting out, even though it's still like, okay. Now you got the following, and my message to you was like, bro, don't shrink, enhance, because there's people that really want you to win. But like you just said, it's a responsibility that you have. Does it make sense to you?
No, salute. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So I don't want to be misogynistic. I don't want to be mute to really what's really going on, because it's like, yo, bro, like you're one of the few that have that passage of entry. You know what I'm saying? It's just that.
Or did.
No, but
Yeah.
but it's like, how do you it impacted you, no doubt. Just that, let's say the phone call, right? Where you are with your wife now, and that happens. What's the plan of attack moving forward, let's say, that you had to kind of go about?
I feel like any plan of attack would have been inauthentic. Right? So I just gotta keep doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know this. I'm not aware of everybody's individual standard in the world. I'm not aware of what it is I am supposed to be or do based off of somebody else's experience of me.
Yeah.
Right? But what I did know is, okay, that's data. That's good to know.
That's data.
You know what I mean? That's good to know. And if I look at it from that point of view, I can say, oh, no, I mean, yeah, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. I get it. You know what I mean? Like, completely understand. It's just, I'm walking around like this, right? And then you go, okay, and everything's operating pretty well from this point, right? Then you got all these blind spots, right? This whole thing, it takes away blind spots. Just takes away blind spots, right? This whole thing is taking away blind spots. And so my point of attack was it's not even attack. It's like, I can't go out. You know what I mean? I can't go out and try to fix everybody. I can't ask you what you think. Hey, dog, what you think about this? Hey, should I do this? Hey, should I do that? Hey, I was already doing that.
Yeah.
I was already doing that
Yeah.
in my career. I was already checking in and be like, okay, cool, there's a standard that someone has for, an actor or a Yale actor or an actor who's been given passage, right?
Yeah.
Like, sure, I've already done that. You know what I mean? So like, I could not be a slave to my environment. You know what I mean? So then my plan, right, was to, okay, just take it, bro. Just take it. Learn. Whatever they're saying, whoever it is, right? Just listen. Just listen. You know what I mean? And if anger comes up, if sadness comes up, great. Go examine that. What you angry about? What you sad about? You know what I mean? Which brings me to a thought. There's this idea. I'm gonna speak for myself.
Please.
I'm only gonna speak for myself. I had this idea, right? As we grow up, probably about, you're big, so probably around 15, you're as big as a man. You're as big as a grown man at 15, I reckon, right? But I said that to say that for me, this idea of the angry black man. Oh, he's an angry black man. He's an angry black man. He's an angry black man. Okay. My teacher told me that anger is a secondary emotion, right? Now, we can look at this, right? Is anger a secondary emotion? Cool. Or is anger a moral response, right? Cool. That's not the point of the story. The point of the story is that for me, the angry black man wasn't real. But that's what was being said. But when I went into myself, right, in those conversations, being confronted with them, I said, okay, angry black man? No. But Jay, are you angry? Are you angry? And I went, yeah, there's some anger in there, but if you think it's a secondary emotion, what is it? Well, no. I was a scared black man. And then so you begin to behave in a way to protect yourself, right? Some of us get very jolly. Hey, what's up? How you doing, bro? Peace, king. Peace, God. How y'all feeling? Blah, 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 blah. Some get straight stoic. I'm letting nothing in, right? I modulated more here. There's so many pictures, right? So many fucking pictures of me on the red carpet, right? Should be super happy. I'm sitting that bitch like this. Scared. Just scared. Just terrified. Just terrified. Yeah. You know what I mean? Oh, I talk to you. You're the cool kid. Yeah. You're the cool kid. I'm the art kid, right? Best thing I can do is just kind of let you have your space, right? Then go into my little world, go into my career, right? Or I'm the quarterback. You know what I mean? I know this world. I know how to do this, right? Then that scared little boy is in there and he's just playing. That's magazine dreams all the way. Magazine dreams is a scared little boy, right, who's dealing with mental things, right, past traumas, right, and then it manifests in a certain way, right? So that's where I began. So I'm talking a lot of shit, but the point of it is like, when I was confronted with all those things, which are valid, yeah, and then for many people, many people, true, right? I go, okay, how do I feel about that? Does it make me angry? Does it make me scared? Oh, it makes me shy, right? Megan was the first person to say, oh, he's very shy. Megan and my mother are the only people that go, oh no, J-Boo's shy. And I am, right? But I am shy because I have a great deal of fear, right? And had a great deal of fear that I was not wrestling with. So if I'm not dealing with that, anything that comes out, anything that covers that is not true. I'm lying to myself. Angry black man, jovial black man, blah, 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 blah. Whatever label you want to put on it, that's your business. I can see the label, I can feel the label, and go, how do I feel about that? Okay, cool. How do I feel? Oh, you're scared, Jay. You're scared. You're scared of not eating, right? So you work your ass off. You work your ass off. I was doing 3-4 movies a year. In many cases, some of them were blockbusters. Why is that? Because that same kid was working at Party City down in Texas, Bennigan's, and Smoothie King.
No way.
All at the same time, right? Because I was so scared of being broke. I was so scared of watching my mama cry because we couldn't make shit happen. You know what I mean? I was so scared that I went to work. You know what I mean? You do the same thing with career. You go to work because that helps comfort the scared boy, but it doesn't heal him. Past 2 years, I go, okay, that guy is scared. How do I fix that? I gotta heal him. Does that make sense?
Bro, it's so much sense that the word that it's triggered. Mm-hmm. You're scared, you get triggered, it turns you in defense mode. Mm-hmm. For me.
Or you shut down.
Everybody's trigger response is different. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Like
depending on the environment.
Depending on the environment. I think it's J. Cole that had a lyric that said, like, bro, guys in the hoods are the best actors.
No doubt.
It's because like you're personifying this toughness about yourself, and
But then that goes to, okay, let me see if I can put this together for us. So then that goes to, right, this persona, right? But if you don't take the hit, right? If you don't take that scared little boy and throw him out there and say, okay, hey man, we gotta deal with this. Yeah. What happens? You become an older man, right? Get sick, your family ain't right, your money ain't right, right? Because you got a whole part of yourself that's fucked up. You know what I mean? Like,
these are all flaws that you know that you don't want to get exposed.
Right. So then, where was I going? So then when you turn into it, right? When you actually turn into that fear and you start wrestling with that, that's reps, right? Now all of a sudden you got the shoulders that you always imagined you would have as a man, as a human being, right? You have the endurance because you went in there, you dealt with that scared little boy who can't take hits. You know what I mean? You actually have 8 different versions of you, right, to protect him, right? Sometimes those versions are love. Sometimes those versions are fear. Sometimes those versions are lusted after. Sometimes those versions are alienated, right? But all those people are there to take care of this guy, this little kid. You know what I mean? It's not until we stop, right? I'm glad I'm talking to you about this, right? And your audience. You know what I mean? Because I'm only speaking for myself, right? It's not until I stopped and went, okay, how do I deal with that? Well, you can't deal with all this firefight that's going on around you, right? With all these other soldiers, right? He's got to get in the fray, right? Yeah. You got to put him out there. And when you put him out there, he starts dealing with things. He's scared, but then he pushes forward, right? He's ashamed, but he pushes forward. Now he's a problem in a good way. Now he's the man you want to be, the man I want to be. You know what I mean? That's the transition. That's the rebirth. You know what I mean? That's what I'm on right now. And that's what I should have been on ages ago. But had I not been, I wouldn't have my brother here. You know what I mean? Yeah. Wouldn't have my beautiful wife. Yeah. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be in transition to becoming a better friend to the few friends I have, a better business owner to the business I'm running, a better client to my agent. Holla, 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 Alon Roospley, William Morris, I love you. It's a down-ass brother, you know what I mean? I wouldn't be that better version. That's what I want to be. That's why I suggest we all try to be.
Yeah. There's been something that I kind of peeped, and I don't know if this has been intentional, but you've been showing a lot of love in the Black media markets. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Is that intentional or... Like, I've seen you on Breakfast Club. I've seen you on Sherry Shepherd. I've seen you on Jason Lee. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what it's like, you know, from the mainstream. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because Jimmy Fallon, SNL,
been there.
You know, the list goes on. Jimmy Kimmel. But this go around, it's like, bro, I love it. But it's like, was that a plan? You know, you're a person that, above all, I will say this about Jonathan Majors. He's a very intentional individual.
Amen. Thank you. Yeah.
Was that a part of your intentions? Or it just happened that way?
God's plan. God's plan. You know, like, and we can talk we can talk about it.
Like,
I was fortunate enough to do Sherry Shepherd, Breakfast Club with the homie Jason Lee. I don't know if that aired yet, but yeah, I'm sure we'll hear about it when it does. Yeah. Touching the community, right? So you go like this, right? Mm-hmm. And then you get that bad phone call with your missus next to you, and you go, oh shit, I'm fucked. You know what I mean? But now you can see, and you go, okay, cool. And I honestly feel that there was an attraction, right? We then became attracted to each other. Right, and they're all different relationships, right? Different, like you're my brother, right? Like Jason's also my brother. You know what I mean? But you say brother and smile when you talk about Jason. You talk about Cam Newton. No, that's my man, right? Yeah, it's different, right? It's different, right? For sure. Sherry, that's my girl. That's my girl. You know what I mean? Like I'm very grateful for y'all because it wasn't intentional, but I'm so happy it happened, right?
You said it wasn't or it was?
It was not intentional. Okay. I mean, yes, I have to agree to do them. You know what I mean? But it was not intentional. It was what God put in front of me, right? Along with the Hollywood Reporter and whoever, right? But they put that in, God put that in front of me, and I was so happy that they did that. You know what I mean? That he did that. You know, and my publicist called, and it felt kind of like the same old shit. Okay, here are the people that want to see you, blah 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 blah. And I did go, oh, Charlamagne's on there. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you had reached out long ago to kind of hook up, and so I was like, well, let me just hit Cam. Oh, Cam's team is down with it. You know what I mean? Like, that's me not being scared. right? Moving towards my people. You know what I mean? Like allowing myself to be embraced by them as I embraced them back. You know what I mean? Like that was, I'm so happy it happened. You know what I mean? But yeah, intentional, God's plan. You know, God's plan.
I think this needs to be said in this way. It's like we always see situations in media. We don't give our culture, we don't give our people enough credit for the support. I remember hearing this as
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
I remember hearing this when I was coming out of college. And I can't cite it because I don't know who said it. But it was told to me like this: the white man can make you rich, but the black man will stand by you no matter what. You have to be able to balance that act.
That double horse.
It's like, bro, too much of the white man, too much of the black man. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, through this.
Fuck with that. We can reframe it. We can reframe it. We can reframe it. A prophet has no dignity in his hometown. That's the Bible. Your hometown is where you come from. I'm from Cedar Hill, Texas. Shout out. Small town. Had I stayed in that town, right, I wouldn't have the life I have, right? Then I go to Yale, right? Had I stayed in that town, right, had I kept that mindset, let's call that mainstream, which is hard to say, because I believe we're mainstream, right, as far as the culture goes. I believe mainstream is it's truly a melting pot. Now, who's turning that heat on? Who's turning that heat on?
There you go.
You know what I mean? Well, we know.
Are you getting pureed or melted?
You know what I mean? Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
But it is about balance, because it's about balance in general. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to move us away from white man, black man. I'm not trying to do that at all, right? But from my mind, the way I look at that is I go, you've got to move. If you want to move you and yours forward, you have got to move from your origin and have your journey, right?
Wow.
And now we're talking about Homer, the Odyssey, right? That's what the whole story is about, right? This man is all about some wonderful Grecian town, right? It's not Troy, it's not Athens. Odyssey, it'll come to me. But King Odysseus has to leave this place, right? And go all these other places, right? He deals with, monsters and sirens and wars and giants and all these things, right? And then he comes back. And when he comes back, he's not just the king of this place. He's now experienced all of this. So we can then say, we now, right? Because I've experienced where I come from, what I've seen, right? We call that mainstream for lack of a better term, right? Then you come back home, right? And then you have to keep that balance. If you, and that's the game, bro. That's the game of being a man, of being a human being, right? If you don't have the balance, it's over.
For sure.
It's literally over, right? Quarterback. You gotta be hella relaxed. Tell me if I'm speaking out of school.
No.
You gotta be hella relaxed, right? Oh, relax. But this takes a lot of tension and a lot of stress to chuck that ball 50 yards, right? Yeah. You got to know when to fire off. You got to know when it's time to tighten up, when to relax, when to lead, when to follow. You know what I mean? Like all those things, I think all those things are experienced through a full life, right?
Right.
Doing the balancing act. You do the balancing act. You know what I mean?
It's natural.
Is it fair though? I didn't know I was asking you questions, but I just want to know.
It's growth.
Yeah.
Because to be honest with you, bro, I'm going through that right now.
Okay.
Going through it in a way where a lot about me has to change.
All right.
Even on this platform that
All
I'm
right.
speaking. It's
All
like
right.
a lot of me has to change in a way where I must be very critical of me because this impacts so many people.
I know what you mean.
And I've been punished. I've been left out. I've been one of those things because of it's like, hey, we love Cam, but he's a little too College Park. You know what I'm saying? But then even when I go to College Park, it's like, oh man, Cam, yeah, he bougie now. You know what I'm saying? So
I
it's
know
like
that story.
there's a battle between who you really are. It's like, no, bro, like, look at my hair. This is why I'm growing my hair. It's like, bro,
Look at
I'm
my
getting-
nose.
You dig what I'm saying? But there is a balance in evolution
Yes.
that you understand that you need one with, you can't be with one without the other for true growth. And true growth comes when you critique yourself in a way where it's like, I could be better with that. Like I could change my diet. I could change the way I think. I could change the way I talk.
It takes time.
It
but
takes
you can.
time. And I think when I'm hearing you say you've identified it and you can't, it's not one of those hot pocket fixes where you just put it in the 30 seconds, I go beep, and then indulge. It's one of those Thanksgiving fixes.
Come on.
I'm with you now.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? So, like, I'm going through that right now, and I'm like, yo, bro, a lot of me will never change. Let's be completely honest. But some of me has to be altered. And they call it awareness. They call it, understand what room you're in. And even it's not even the room sometimes, because I must say this, it's your platform.
Okay.
Be very strategic with their platform, because Cam Newton on 4th and 1 can impact Cam Newton on Funky Friday. Cam Newton on Funky Friday can be impacted by Cam Newton on ESPN.
Yep.
And you can be naive.
Yep.
You can think that it doesn't have any type of correlation, but
Yep.
it
That's
really
this, bro.
does. It's that. So while you're talking, bro, and I'm being obedient to really using this as helpful insight, but a lot of ways you're talking to me.
I hope so.
You know what I'm saying? It's I want to use a quote, right, as I'm finding it right now from the thing that you talked about on the Breakfast Club.
Am I allowed to interject? Could I just say something?
Please.
I'm very proud of you for saying that, bro, because, and it's hard, but you just did something that only a person in your situation has to do, right? When you are public facing, right, which we are, like it or not, when you're public facing and you have the impact that you have, and I understand this now too, but didn't always, you have to, because you've been hurt publicly, right? I've been hurt publicly, right? Dragged, right?
Ridiculed.
Dragged, right? And listen, it's valid. They only know what they know. You only are who you are, but it's all valid, right? But we have not even a burden, we have the privilege where we kind of have to do it out loud, right? Because of that responsibility, right? Because there's little homies looking up to you, young ladies looking up to you, you have to public face and say, this is what I'm doing, right? And get ready, because then they're going to say, oh, no, he just talking shit. He ain't real. He changed, blah, blah, blah. That's fine, right? Those are just the reps you got to go through, right? Maybe it's not real, but it's about to get real, right? You're going to keep doing those reps. I'm going to keep doing them reps, right? And then we see what happens. You know what I mean? It's not a bing, fix me. Bing, done.
Fixed.
Yeah, no,
it
that's
ain't-
not
it
the
ain't
game.
that.
It's not the game.
No.
And so we have to, especially, because I look up to you, you know what I mean, when I was watching the TV, right? And now I respect you and love you as my brother, right? So there's a part that I admire you, right? I go, you know my shit, I know your shit. And I go, yeah, here we go. You know what I mean? Here we go. Allow me to be there for you. You be there for me like we're doing. So I just want to say, that's a big move, bro. To go, yo, this is where I'm at.
Bro.
This is what needs to happen.
Man, listen, no matter, going back to this situation where you're from to who you're still pandering. Either way. You're pandering to the culture, you're pandering to the brand. Either way. And with that, it's really tapping into, because I know I need to be better with representing women.
Okay, I'm with you. I hear you.
Right? Like,
Can I ask you another question?
yes, but it's one of those things that I never hate, I never suppress, I love. But perception
Optics.
is reality. Reality ain't reality. So the Cam Newton on 4th and 1, the Cam Newton on Funky Friday, the Cam Newton on ESPN, they were Cam Newton in real life, is all impacted by the perception. And is it gonna be a ding, fixed, okay, all right, give me the money or give me the respect? It's like, no, it's a process. And when you look at it like this and it's like, oh, I see. We gotta change that.
We gotta change that.
So much so that's like, yo, I'm not cursing.
Good for you.
Bro, and even with that one technique, within, bro, you only been doing it for 2 weeks, I feel so calm.
Good. Good.
Because that person, whether scared, whether bold, whether stoic, when that person gets triggered, a person comes out that it doesn't care.
It's a ritual,
Yeah.
right?
Ask your question.
Oh no, bro, I'm with you now.
No, it's not my fault. But I just wanted to make sure that, like, yo, I'm extremely aware of the hurt that I've caused, or just the side eye, like, yeah, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I have a great ecosystem around me.
Yeah.
Whether people want to believe it or not, like, no, people check me and have checked me. And my chief of staff, RJ, told me this. He was like, bro, you just wasn't in that season to receive.
That's okay.
And that's important too.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, we've been telling you this whole time. Like, bro, bring it back. Like,
Yeah.
but now we got your attention.
Yeah.
And now it is going to be a work in progress, and you have the support to help you.
Yeah.
You know, with that.
And it's smaller. Well, let's move on. But it's your show.
No. Go.
But it's smaller than you think. It looks mammoth, right? You just named 4 Cam Newtons. How in the world? I'm gonna try not to cuss while we're on here.
Yeah,
too,
no.
right?
I hate
as an
saying
experiment.
it.
No, trust me.
But it's the reality.
As an
It's like, I'm not
experiment.
impacted
As an
by
experiment,
it.
right?
Yeah.
Because cursing is a ritual, right? You say this, you say this, you say this, you say this, you say this. Something happens. You either feel better, right? You've either heightened something or you lowered something, right? The ritual is to use that language to get you there, right?
Right.
Where's that power? But you just named 4 Cam Newtons, right? I can name 5 Jonathans, 6. Well, I'm an actor. I can name about 30. You know what I mean? The cheat sheet is, and there is a cheat sheet. It's not a microwave. It's just that there's just one Cam. There's just one J. My brother's name is Cameron, by the way, too. Right. You knew that, but all you gotta do is deal with the one. I don't know who he is, but it's just one cat that made all these guys. He's the most powerful. Therefore, he's probably the most broken.
But right there, you got to check in on him, though.
You gotta check in. And what will happen is, if you're lucky, right, you get someone that says, "Don't forget him," right? Or if it's a divine intervention, you know what I mean?
Real talk.
If it's a social intervention,
Real
it's a
talk.
career intervention,
Real talk.
everything stops.
Real
Everything stops. And you then have to pick a path. I'm going this way or I'm going this way.
Yeah.
This way, you walking with an army. This way, it's just you. It's just that 9-year-old boy, right? That's my guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just that 9-year-old kid who's got to go in that big, bad world by himself. If he can do that, these guys, they actually get behind him.
Yeah.
That's Will Smith. Will told me that. They actually get behind him, and he's the commander-in-chief.
Yeah.
And he's the most healed, right? There's a time, right? You got kids? I know you got kids, right? You got kids? I got kids, right? You got a partner? I got a partner, right? Married men over here, right? You know what I mean? There's a time when you may have to, hey, I need the big dog. I need the big dog to come out front because we are being threatened, right? We've been drafted to war. I need him to come out, you know what I mean? But who's the quarterback now, right? 9-year-old Cam. Who's the director now? 9-year-old Jay. And he's a fucking savant, you know what I mean? That child version of ourselves is a genius, is a great person, has all the potential of that. We just got to put them back together. All these other personas and all that bullshit, it's just bullshit.
Yeah.
See? But I'm trying to conjure it, right? That's why I'm using language. I'm trying to conjure,
bro,
right?
I'm
I'm trying
here.
to
I'm
get
here with you.
make it clear, you know what I mean?
For sure.
We take care of that kid, everything else falls in place. But it takes a long time because it took that 9-year-old, 30, to get to make this guy, right? To make all these guys. He made all these guys. How much time do you think it's gonna take to get him healed? Not a microwave, but it won't be long.
It's definitely a process. What I was looking for is like, you're on a Breakfast Club.
Oh, right.
Talking about magazine dreams. And there was something that you said that it was that, because it may have flew over people's heads. It was, you wonder how life would have been if character Kilomatics, if someone would have helped him lift those weights.
Yeah.
And I heard that and I was like, he's not talking about specifically that character. He was talking about Jay. The person.
Yeah.
And when the world found out about you and Meagan, I was like, that's what he's been yearning for. He's been screaming, yo, help. Coretta, you know what I'm saying? And bada bing, it was like, hold on. Wait, is this? Oh, wow. I approve. Hey, yeah.
Wicked.
And, you know, Rihanna has this song, and it's a banger, by the way. It's like, we found love in the hopeless.
I love that song.
It's one of them things that's like, is that real, though? Like, how were you guys able to find love in such a, what did you say, firefly? Like
Firefight.
Firefight.
Yeah. I mean, she's just probably like the best woman and one of the best people I've ever met. You know what I mean? Like, and she loved me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And maybe because all these other guys have been taken out, right? She loved that little boy. You know what I mean? She came to him. She came to him, you know, and she allowed me to show all my wounds, and I'm cut here, I'm beat here, I'm not right here, and this is really a problem here that I have, and she didn't run, right? So I just...
But was it that, though?
And then...
Out of all you just said,
What?
she didn't run.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she didn't run. Oh, man, that's what it is.
You see what I'm saying? You're so used, and I'm speaking for me. I'm talking about me. I'm so used to showing the real me, and somebody like, oh no, this is too much. I'm out of here. Yeah, good, yeah. Respectfully, like you're a dope dude, but like I just can't. And
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yes,
even for me.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, this is what I'm gonna do. And it's not like, all right, well, this is what I'm gonna do. It was matched with grace. It's like, but why? Hey, I'm not gonna judge a branch. Let's get to the root.
Yeah.
Like, well, where did that come from, Cam? Like, why do you feel that you have to act out in this way, talk this way, do this, do that? And as I'm speaking, I'm falling in love.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like you still here, like I got a booger.
Bro, speaking of boogers, man, I didn't realize I had so much stuff on my face all the time. That girl just be like, she looks at me, she just be like, I'm like, where have you been the last 35 years? It's like,
Yeah.
I've been walking around with boogers on my face my whole life.
You got some big ass boogers though.
Hey, bro, I got a big nose, you know? But that's what it was, like,
Yeah.
nobody can heal somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not true. That's really bad. Don't think that. Let me talk to myself. Don't think that, Jay. That's not true. No. Your therapist can't even heal you. They can give you tools to help you.
You're right.
And they can give you space to help you, for you to help yourself. Meagan gave me space, right? To just be. I mean, I was on the ground, just. I mean, it was bad, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't recognize myself, you know, at the height of it. And she dealt with all of it.
Bro, so what was surprising plot twist, like I had Meagan here, right? She did it Funky Friday, and it was like, yo, out of respect of what she had coming out, we'd never really got to talk into it, but it's like, yo, she was going through it too.
And that's where I was going.
And that's the thing. It's like, yo, when I'm saying we found love in a hopeless place, it was one of those situations that you said something. You have to heal yourself first, right? While she was going through what she was going through, you going through publicly both of you guys publicly went through something where just like this light, just like that light, everybody was looking. And when it happened, it was like, man, what in the girl? Sis.
Yeah.
Woo. Now, are you aware of what's going on? And even for you, it's like, bro, woo. Are you aware?
Yeah.
And yet, the divine energy was still like through it all.
Yeah, we gave each other, well, one, I'll speak for myself, she motivated me to be better, right? And she gave me space to not be good. You know what I mean? Just not good. We driving road trips. We had so many road trips because we didn't want to do airplanes, right? So we did so many road trips. I used to be sitting in the car. I'm talking about road trips. LA to New York, LA to Atlanta.
What?
Right? Yeah, road trips. And I'm sitting in that thing and
Just y'all two?
or the dog and the dogs. You know what I mean?
Just y'all two?
And Bishop counts.
Yeah,
My dog counts.
but I'm saying-
Yeah, just us two.
The communicating in a way where like,
Just us two.
That's,
You know what I mean?
that's, wow.
And we did it probably 3 or 4 times. You know what I mean?
What?
Yeah, and we just be driving, and I just start crying. You know what I mean? And she's like, I know. I don't know, but I know. You know? Those moments like that, bro, like, when you need to do it. Like, it needed to come out, you know what I mean? And she could hold it, you know what I mean? And then we jumped to, you know, her, you know, having her time and having her chat with me, and I'm sitting in the room like this. Why didn't you tell me that? I didn't know that. You know what I mean? And she's just unloading, and I'm just going, okay. Oh, my turn. Okay, come on.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
yeah,
I'm ready.
for sure.
You know what I mean? That builds something unbreakable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I want to be respectful, but were you guys abstaining through this time, or like how was that? Like, what was you guys' glue? Because I'm like everybody else. This ain't nobody asking this question. This is me asking. Like, that bond that we see is something like, bro, what is it? Like, man, y'all need to come out with a book.
Through the fire.
You like, you know what I'm saying? What is it? How was it? Like, talk to me.
What you ask about my intimate life with my
I'm
wife?
asking how in the absolute fudge
Yeah. Good for you.
were you guys able to have something greater than the obvious?
I don't know, maybe she can answer this. That's why there's two of us now. Maybe she can answer it. But for my part, and I'm sure her answer would be a lot better than mine. Mine would be a lot longer than hers, but hers would be a lot better than mine. Bro, God put this woman in my life. That's all I can say. God said, boom, there she is. Boom, there she is. Don't fuck this up, right? This is for you. This is for her. Go. This, my mother married us. Like from the beginning, like God had his hands on it. You know what I mean? And like, is she the most beautiful woman I've ever seen? Absolutely. You know what I mean? Like, do I hope she finds me attractive? I certainly hope so. You know, but
From what we've seen, for sure.
Yeah.
We played a game. I don't know if you watched the clip.
No, she showed me. She showed me all her stuff.
Yeah.
She showed me. I love it.
Yeah.
No, it's just like I wanna talk straight to it, you know. But like, sometimes God is just awesome. Mm-hmm. All the time, God is awesome. Sometimes God just shows up, and like I could not. Like, do we have arguments? Mm-hmm. Hell yeah. Do we have crying, you know, at each other? Absolutely. You know what I mean? But that's what relationships are. You know what I mean? That's what relationships are. Those times are far. I mean, they're and then we just go, okay. We just committed. We just committed. You know what I mean? Like, we're in the ocean. It's cold as fuck. How are we gonna get through this? You know what I mean? You can get through this alone. I can get through this alone, or we can get through this together. Well, I was like, I'll be jacked to your rose. You can let me go. You know what I mean? Titanic's gone down. You can let me go. You just go. You know. And she was like, no, I'm gonna be jacked. You go. You know what I mean? We just wouldn't do it. And it was never like something happened. Should we? No. It was. We actually never spoke about that. I said it once. I said it once to her, like, hey. You can cut and run. And she didn't. And now we just don't do that.
What was the thought process behind the marriage? Like, it was like, the timeline was like, yo, you know how they do like the social media, the split, like they put the red line in between.
Sure.
And then it's like Jonathan Majors, Meagan Good are no longer together, and then, oh no, they're very much so. She's engaged, or they are engaged, and then all of a sudden they had an intimate wedding, and it's like, is that true? Is this April Fool's? Like what? Like,
where my phone at? No. I'll show you offline.
Yeah.
But no, it's kind of like it's the integration of life, right? We're both professionals, but we're both human beings, right? You make a plan, you stick to the plan. You know what I mean? Like, unless the plan changes. But we had a plan, we stuck to the plan. Like, I wasn't gonna propose outright until, thanks, Papa. I wasn't gonna propose outright until, let me show you that.
that's hard, bro.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
You just went somewhere.
We got smoke, yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna propose outright until I spoke to her father. You know, I had to speak to Papa Good twice. You know, just because we're Southern men.
No, for sure. What was his fears?
I don't know if he had fears. I mean, no more than any other father. You know what I mean? No more than any other father. I think he had to get to know me. Mm-hmm. I had to get to know him. You know, the beautiful thing was we both knew that we loved Megan. You know what I mean? He's protective like any other father. Right. You know what I mean? Asked me questions like any other father. But we spent time together. He cut my hair. We're in Hawaii. He back there cutting my hair.
What?
You know what I mean? For a while, I was gonna go to the SEALs, and he was a Marine, and like a real Marine, like a Vietnam Marine, and I was going through the buds thing, you know, and like, you know, what do you think? Oh, you know about that Special Forces?
Special Forces.
Yeah. You know, what do you think this is, and how you think I'm doing? Blah blah. Be out in the back, doing push-ups. You know what I mean? Taking me to the gym, running up, like we just had the bond, you know. And her mother and I mean, we essentially live together. We all live in LA. You know what I mean? So we got to spend time, but yeah, it was quite traditional. You know what I mean? I still have to say, And then Magazine Dreams, right? Magazine Dreams came out, so the premiere, right? My mother hadn't been to any of my premieres, and it was always the plan to have us, for her to marry us. We were set to get married in Dallas, right? In a small town in Ferris, Texas, where my mother lives. And so we were just passing through. We were just like, we just love each other. Let's just get married. Let's just do it, right? And so we did. On one of the road trips, we drove on into Dallas, right? Hung out with my mom. It might have been around Essence Fest, because we were coming from
New Orleans.
Yeah. We came from New York, maybe Atlanta, but we came from New York to Essence. Saw my sister in Baton Rouge. Was telling her about it.
Y'all driving.
Then we drove to Dallas, spoke to my mama. She undercover went and got the marriage license and this and this and this and this and this. That was great. So my mom is like super agent with it.
Yeah. Stealth mode.
Yeah, stealth mode.
Activated.
You know, pastor, sneaking. Yeah, it was wonderful. Ultimately, we couldn't do that because when we left, we couldn't get a piece of paperwork sorted, right? And I was like, oh, that was the timeline. You know what I mean? So we got to go, right? So we would have been married a year ago, maybe. That would have been crazy. Then we go off to, then life goes along and she goes to shoot her stuff and I'm working on my stuff and trying to get back on my feet, you know. But then the Magazine Dreams premiere comes and we're like, oh, great. We find that out 2 weeks later. We call our mom now and go, hey, Mom, we want you to come out to LA, you know, and marry us. She's like, oh, yes, baby, I'll do it. You know, that's how my mom talks, actually. Yes, Jay, I'm coming. I said, cool. She came down. That was always the plan, right? We do the premiere, which was also her birthday, right? Next day, she wakes up. I go out, grab a broom. I go in the backyard, lay out the blankets, light the torches, put the rocks down, call my homie. That's a professional photo, obviously. My homie comes, you know, shoots the whole shit, you know.
How many people?
It's me, Meagan, my mama, and my mother, right? So Megan's mother and my mother. And then we had the whole family up on the Zoom and stuff. And we did it. We got it done.
Bro, this is like...
And then we get this picture, you know what I mean? Like,
Look, I just feel it. Like, you jolly. You like, every time you look at her, it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, personally...
Has the rest of this not been personal?
No.
Okay.
Was there a prenuptial agreement, son?
No.
Right?
No, not that I know.
Because
yeah.
it's those things that, as men,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that's why I created Funky Friday. It's like, bro, man, pass all the minutia. Like, man, stop all that. Man, how was the movie? Like, man, no.
Well, the movie's wicked.
It's definitely is.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that's like, bro, let's get down to the nitty gritty. You know what I'm saying?
I think this is beautiful, yeah.
And for you and her to come and have holy matrimony,
Amen.
I haven't gotten to that point yet. I plan on doing it. You know what I'm saying? I think everybody asks me, it's like, bro, why haven't you? And I know I've had multiple examples of marriage in my life. And I hold it so sacred that the worldly image of that, I've seen men in marriages that were still living single. I've seen women that are in marriages that are still, they got a possibility.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not what I was raised on.
I hear you.
And that's my fear.
There you go.
That's the fear of like, bro, what's not about to happen is that little boy that you call it the 9-year-old John or Jay, I call it the JUCO Cam, right? Where Brenham, Texas, you're not gonna play him. You're not gonna push him and force him to do nothing because we in tune, right? So nobody's gonna tell me, but you ain't married though. It's one of those things that I have to still work on myself because you can talk yourself out of a situation of the real good situation that you're in. You see what I'm saying?
You sabotage yourself.
Bro, self-sabotage is so natural and so easy for everybody to do. So that's that. It's like, bro, I've seen it. I've been here where, man, my father's a preacher, your mother's a preacher. Yeah. And that was one of the things, it's like, yo.
PK.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Y'all niggas the worst one. You know? And when you sit back and I was like, man, my father's been with my mother for 40 years. My brother has been with his wife for 12 years. My younger brother has been with his wife for 3 years. No, this is their second year, for 2 years.
Amen.
And it's like, I don't know, bro. It's like part of me is like, but they ain't got my temptation though. They ain't Cam Newton, you know? So when I see this, and I'm like, okay, you giving me hope, bro. Like when I see my brothers, when I see my father, when I see like those things, like you giving me hope.
Good.
Because those other examples, it's like, yeah, bro, I'm married for 26 years, man, but taking this off tonight, you know what I'm saying? Fellas, where we at?
Wow.
Hey, this is Blase Blah, introduce yourself. But that ain't your wife, though.
Wow.
You know, even with the wives, it's like, ooh, Cam, what's up? I'm like, whoa, wait.
Right.
Oh,
I understand.
You see what I'm saying? It's like, bro, this world that I've been living in has been so noisy of the truth that I'm not, those are non-negotiables for me. I don't play about that.
That's good.
I'm not going to compromise that. That's not a good enough excuse.
That's good.
For me to just be like, oh, just saying that you're married and really being married. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people get married, but do you stay married? You feel me? Do you have an escape plan? Do you have one of those things where it's like,
You don't need an escape plan, you need a support system.
Yeah.
You know, and I think what happens with what I'm experiencing, right? It's been like 2 weeks. You know what I mean? But what I'm experiencing is you get real dependent on the men around you.
Right.
And I'm only saying this based off of, yeah. Here we go. I don't want to get in trouble. But you know what I mean? Like the fellas I'm around have to change, right? Like had to change. You know what I mean? Like I never ran around like that. You know what I mean? Like, but when you commit, right, your whole environment changes because your inner environment changes. I actually brought up, I don't, let you lift weights and like go to the gym. We go to the bar, cool. But go to the gym and like, hey, no, I'm gonna skip the strip. I'm gonna skip the strip club, bro. You know, like I'm gonna do that. I'm not gonna put myself. I'm not gonna put my not myself. I'm not gonna put my marriage in that situation. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna put us because when you're married, there's two of you. I'm not putting us in that situation.
Yeah.
So somebody can say something crazy, even if I'm on my P's and Q's. No, why would I do that? That's irresponsible. You know what I mean? But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep putting us in the right spot, right, with the right people that are feeding us, feeding the marriage, feeding our relationship, feeding me as a man, right, feeding you as a woman. She'd say, oh, I'm hanging out with my girl. Oh, baby, yeah, go. Yeah. No, don't worry about it. Do your thing, right? Just hit me when you're on the way home. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna leave the dog out. You know what I mean? But like, please go do that. Right. Be supported by your girls. And you don't even gotta talk about me. You know what I mean? You just need to be full. You know what I mean? Then you bring that fullness back to the house. It's simple. You know what I mean? It's hard because you're dealing with one thing, right? You're dealing with the marriage. You're dealing with that one thing. You know what I mean? I'm saying this like I've been married for years. I'm married 2 weeks. But this is where I'm at with it. You know what I mean? Like I'm just dealing with this. You know what I mean? This, us. I'm not gonna put us in danger. I'm not gonna court sin. It's a bad idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You snapping right now, bro.
Thank you, brother.
You snapping. Because even for me, I've always said this about relationships, and I speak as if I'm a relationship guru. I just say, I've been around the block a couple times.
Right.
And your support system is essential.
Yes.
You can't be the only person in your ecosystem that's married, that's in a committed relationship, and everybody else ready to be outside. City boys and hubbies don't match.
There just has to be a level of respect.
It's just like city
mean?
girls and girls that's in a relationship. Because even for me, bro, I judge support systems.
Break it down.
Okay, when I first got with Jazz, I wanted to see her friends.
Okay.
No, I need to see them.
I understand.
I need to catch an energy from them to see like, yo, we can go to dinner, but what you trying to do after dinner? Who you looking at?
Yeah.
Because some will say, oh, he too no, it's who's going to influence you in a way that you would jeopardize this relationship. Because jeopardizing is not, aha, got you. Jeopardizing is still having me think about it.
It puts us in a precarious situation.
So when you say, I'm with my girls, go, babe. Like, cool. What y'all eat? What y'all do? It's a genuine. What y'all eat? What y'all do? It's not.
Did you bring me a plate?
Exactly.
Right.
It ain't who all was all over there. I seen her, but I seen the dude's shoe and like those type of things is crevice.
Yeah.
That when you become in a relationship, you have to start altering different influences that has attachment to you. So men in my life is guys that I'm trying to find and have that's like, nah, what you doing, bro? Like, where you at with it?
You gotta pull your coat up.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, come on, it's time for us to leave.
Yeah.
Say less, bro. All right, cool. You driving? Bet. I don't even drink, but it's like, you can drive. Cool.
I'm good.
Hey, baby, where you at? The boom. Where you at? You eat? You cook something? All right, bro, I'm about to go to the crib. No, yeah, I'm good. As a matter of fact, I'll Uber. Y'all, I don't want to compromise y'all fun. I'm good. I'm learning that. I've always had it, but it's just one of those things that's like, bro, life is good.
Life is good.
Hey, you know what I mean? It's like it's the future. You feel me? It's that type of thing where it all goes back to you.
That's where I was gonna go, right? Like, where you at? What you doing? Where you at? Who's talking there, right? That's a scared little boy talking there, right? Versus, hey, baby. Yep, okay. Tell him I said what's up. All right, peace. I don't care who's there. I have no fear about who's there, because I trust her. I have no fear around it, because I trust her, right? That little scared little boy is not scared when it comes to her, right? We healed that, you know what I mean? Not to say you don't get spooked sometimes.
No, for sure.
You know what I mean? But you go, okay, cool, Dog, this conversation is incredible.
Yeah. Duh.
Yeah.
So, what's the next for you?
What's
like, when I'm looking at your whole rollout, bro, The Last Black Man in San Francisco, The Five Bloods, Loki, The Harder They Fall, Devotion, Creed 3, Marvel Cinematic Universe, Ant-Man and the Wasp, right? Quantumania, Magazine Dreams, right? You getting your feet back. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay. Any projects outside of, please go out and support, but what do you want from here?
I want to continue to have conversations like this, and I want to be able to bring I want to be able to bring me into my work. I love acting. I love it. I love the art form, right? I want to continue to do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's out of my hands. You know what I mean? But I want to continue to do that. I got a few projects that hopefully will shoot at the end of this year. That's wicked. You know what I mean? Like, I want to do that. And promote those movies, but ultimately, and touch those audiences, right? But ultimately, I want to focus on. I mean, not focus on me, but I want to continue to. It's not a beep 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 beep. I want to continue to
work on you.
To work on that. You know what I mean? And I think now I can use my art, my friendships, my marriage, my relationship with my daughter, my fatherhood, right? I can use all those things to continue it's Jacob's ladder, isn't it? Right? Like, we are just climbing Jacob's ladder. When you think you've achieved something,
It's another.
There's
climb.
another realm. There's another place to go. You know what I mean? So we're 35, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I want to be twice the man I am now when I'm 70.
God willing.
You know what I mean? Like,
is there a role that you wouldn't play?
no. No. No, I mean,
It's a lot of no's.
why? Because I really want to walk myself through that.
Right.
Where it's like, there might be roles that are inappropriate for me to play.
Say less.
You know what I mean? Where I go, well, I'm not gonna touch that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But no, I'll play anything. You know what I mean? If there's a story to be told there that I believe in, I want to tell it. I don't care if it's in a different language, in a different country. If I'm, gotta get fat, gotta get skinny, I'll do it. You know what I mean? If the people need the story, Magazine Dreams is one of those where
No,
it's like,
for sure.
like I don't want, oh, God damn, like I don't want to be all, but like that we need the story.
Yeah.
Magazine Dreams, like we need it. It might be medicine for some people, it might be entertainment for other people,
Right.
but there is something in that film that is healing. As hard as it can be to watch sometimes,
Yeah.
it's healing, So I want to do more stuff like that, Entertain the people, represent, show love.
You were speaking about a business. Like what business for the people to support?
Oh, that's love, bro. Yeah, so Megan and I put together, Megan and I had a bunch of other folks. We put together this, I guess we'll do this now, yeah. This online platform, right? It's called Honor Culture, right? And Honor Culture is a fitness, nutrition, lifestyle forum, right? There's a few components to it. There's a fashion line. There's a workout app that integrates AI and all these things. Building an app is a mother trucker, bro. It's a thing, right? We're moving into the podcast space and the YouTube, right? So it's like this whole thing where you're kind of gifting out. And what's the thing about Honor Culture? Honor Culture is really and maybe this will turn some people away, but I gotta keep it a buck, right? It's the physical and mental journey that I've been on for the past, I guess my whole life, but really putting it to language in these past few years, where my mind and my body are not separate things, right? My mental health and my physical health are not separate things. Yes, there's different diagnoses, but they're not different, right? And so what we're offering is a way to be better. You know what I mean? Oh, it's called Honor Culture, right? You're gonna honor yourself. You're gonna honor the people you're training with. You're gonna honor how you look, right? There's a supplement line that goes with it. There's hair, stuff and face stuff, and we go from peptides to whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's all there. And so it's called Honor Culture, and it is coming soon. I'll talk to you about it for real offline, but because I think you might want to look at it.
No, it's definitely.
But that's what we're doing.
Yeah. So let's get into the question of the day, right? The question of the day is to provoke thought.
Okay.
And it's something that the viewer can use, and it requires more than one word answers.
Okay.
All right. This question is, if you could switch lives with any historical figure for a day, who would it be and why?
Who would it be? It would probably be Mary, mother of Jesus.
What? Why?
Because being Jesus would be too much. That's a whole different level. But to be the mother of Jesus, to witness him be both flesh and divine, that's probably the best lesson. That's probably the toughest challenge of one's life.
Yeah. That's deep.
I think she's a very wise woman and has probably endured a lot. You're not supposed to bury your son. You're not supposed to bury your son.
He's supposed to bury
You're supposed to bury you. Mary buries Christ. Witnesses and being crucified and putting, she's around for that.
Yeah.
That's hard. You know what I mean? I just wonder what the internal curriculum would be like to be that individual, that woman.
And also to share with the world.
Yes.
It's one of them deals.
Yeah.
Like, yo, like.
Yeah. Yeah, by the way.
It was always like a big deal.
Yeah.
To have something that's really not yours, it's ours.
Yeah. Yeah. And her connection to God. You know, God goes, yo, guess what? You know what I mean? And for her to take on that, you know what I mean? To wear that.
Yeah.
I just think that's powerful. Yeah.
That's heavy, bro.
I didn't want it to be heavy. This whole thing has been so heavy.
There's not.
Oh my
it's
God.
definitely heavy. So unheavy this then. Say less.
I'm
Let's
not
play
afraid.
again.
I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. Okay.
I'm not afraid to take. Here we go. The game. It's called Happy Wife, Happy Life.
Okay, let's go.
As you're stepping into a newlywed life, I can use some pointers myself.
Okay. Okay.
Right? I'm going to list off some scenarios, and you will tell me what's the best way to keep a happy wife and a happy life.
Let's go.
From the vet. Yeah, I mean. Here we go. Scenario number 1. Your wife needs you to make her a snack in the middle of the night while you are dog tired. Do you get the snack or tell her she can be your snack right now?
You get up and get that snack.
Given the circumstances, what snack, knowing your wife, what would that snack look like? Like, what's her...
Oh, what was she on? Probably... If babe wanted a snack, can I tell you what I would do?
Talk to me.
It's A and B.
Okay.
Because you gotta order Cinnabon, because that's the snack she wants, right? And while Cinnabon is coming, you take care of that other snack. Happy life, happy wife. I'll stand on that. I think she'll be happy with that one. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is vet. Second scenario.
Okay, here we go.
Your wife wants you to match her last minute, but you've already put on your outfit with your favorite shirt.
Yeah.
Do you talk her into letting you keep your outfit adjusting hers, or change to match her fly?
You change, no problem. That's not an issue. That's not an issue. It's not an issue.
You already...
That's a non-issue. Also, Megan and I have now hit this mind meld where all we need to know is where we're going, and we will end up matching. Somehow.
No email, no RSVP, no text,
It'll like, something as simple as like, if I'm wearing this, she might have my green hoodie on without us knowing. Because I get dressed and I'm out, right? And then she's doing the bathroom, doing her thing, right? So I get my stuff and I'm changing, blah, 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 I'm out. She'll come out the bathroom, come into the foyer, and I look and I go, all right, let's go. You know what I mean? I'm like, let's go. Yeah.
Third scenario. Ding, ding, ding. We have 7, by the way. Your wife asks you to get up to dance. Make a TikTok with her. Do you dance with her on TikTok or cut the phone off and just dance?
She wants it to be a TikTok. That's what she wants.
Yes.
She's asking for a TikTok. You do a TikTok. Ain't no problem. Yeah, ain't no problem.
Say less.
Yeah, no problem.
You literally happy wife? Say less, baby. Yes, you're right. Cool.
Okay.
Here we go. Next scenario, your wife asks you to pick what you are eating for dinner. Do you pick the spot for dinner or take her, hold on. Do you pick the spot for dinner and take her or cook her favorite meal?
Is she asking to go out?
She asks, your wife asks you to pick what you are eating for dinner.
Oh, okay. It depends. If we hadn't been, gotta be, okay. If it's Megan, and it is, we're going out. She's gonna want to go out.
What's you guys' foodie?
We like sushi.
Okay.
Yeah, we like sushi, but she also likes the vibe. Like she needs like
The energy.
and energy. So if she's asking me about dinner, then she wants to go out. Yeah, she wants to go out because me for dinner is like cool. Uber, you know what I mean? Airline, get it to the house. You know what I mean? Like cool. But if she's asking me, then it's like okay, this is boop boop boop. Okay, cool.
I'm telling you this, and I'm getting this on record. You and her has to come to fellowship.
Bro, timeout. I was the suites at the airport, right?
Yeah.
And I'm saying, yeah, I'm here to see my boy Cam Newton. They go, oh yeah. He said, then he's like, have you ever been to fellowship? And I said, what is fellowship? And she breaks it down. And I go, bourbon and cigars and no, he's never spoken to me about this. You've never spoken to me about this.
Yeah.
I'm quite upset about it. Can you tell?
It's the vibe.
I'm excited to come.
It's the vibe.
Yeah,
See, this is the thing. It's a restaurant cigar lounge. So
She like that.
A lot of people think that you have to smoke cigars to indulge in the vibes of fellowship, and you don't.
Yeah.
This is a plug for fellowship. If you ever find yourself at ATL, please bring your assets and constituents to 110 Centennial Olympic Park Drive, fellowship, where the vibes are always right. You dig? So yes, great food, Southern cuisine.
Good food too.
Great. No. Great food. Vegan.
We're there.
I'm vegan, so there's vegan cuisine. There's Southern cuisine. It's all the above.
We're
and
there.
on top of that, drinks. You don't have to drink food. You don't have to eat cigar. You don't have to. It's just
vibe.
Indulgence. Here we go. Your wife is having a bad day.
Yep.
Do you write her a love letter or buy her flowers and sing to her to make her smile?
I gotta pick one of those.
Or what would you do?
Oh, it's back rub. Neck rub. Neck rub. Yeah, neck rub and Cinnabon.
Cinnabon is a
Yeah. Neck rub and Cinnabon. But not
the
like
knots or just a real cinnamon roll.
she likes the whole thing.
Right.
Yeah. And if it's not fresh, like it's a problem. You know what I mean? So,
No, that's bro.
and I agree with that. I agree with that.
No,
I agree with that.
That's like that's
I agree with
bush
that.
league.
I
Like
agree
you
with
have to
that.
understand. Like, come on, don't play with me.
Yeah.
Like I'm a bakery connoisseur because I bake.
Oh.
So if I taste staleness,
Okay.
we do this thing here at Iconic Saga where it's like it's become a movement. Donuts and coffee Fridays. Friday morning, this is where it hit me. It was like, yo, I need to check in with my team.
Right.
And what we do, we tap into a different bakery and get donuts, and everybody has to come outside of their office for at least 10 minutes,
And have
and it's just a,
fellowship with donuts.
yeah.
I love that.
So, Fellowship Fridays.
I love that. Yeah, back rub and Cinnabon. And then I may have to dance. That'll set it up.
What song?
If I dance to that, we're good. Yeah,
Straight up.
she'll lighten up, I hope. And if that doesn't work, the Cinnabon would definitely work. And if that doesn't work,
That back rub. We gonna get them knots
that'll
out.
work. That'll work.
Dry or you got an ointment? Or it's like oil?
Depends on how she's feeling. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Last one. Your wife wants to do something adventurous,
Yep.
like jump out of a plane. Agree to jump out of a plane or not do it, but show full support.
If Megan says to me she wants to jump out of a plane, we probably need to go to a doctor. because I've said that to her, and she's been like, "There's no effing way." Right? She'll watch your show, one of your shows,
The Special Forces.
Special Forces, and see y'all jump off stuff. She's like, couldn't do it, won't do it, can't do it. So if my wife comes to me and says she wants to jump out of the plane, I'm saying, cool, jump in the car. We're going to the doctor. Yeah.
You go jump in the car.
You go jump in the car. We go to the doctor.
Jump into the
We
office.
go to the doctor. Yeah.
Because I need to.
We need to check this. Yeah.
No, the docs.
Yeah. I would love to jump out of the plane with her though.
Really?
Yeah.
Jonathan Majors, listen, bro. This has been one for the ages. Appreciate you.
Has it been good, man?
No, dog. Like,
you're not bullshitting? Because it's important to me that we had our time.
Hold on. I really want to be obedient because we have this section where we call Question from the Crew, right?
Okay.
So we have a lot of people and a lot of bystanders watching it.
Okay.
They ask either myself a question or you a question, and boom, we go from there. So do we have any questions from the crew?
Jonathan, this one's for you. What is one actor or actress that you haven't had the chance to work with that you'd like to?
Hands down, no question, Mr. Denzel Washington.
What that would look, bruh.
Yeah, Denzel.
Denzel?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah.
OG, Denzel, we gotta make that happen.
I got a question. I really got two, but one of the buzzwords you said earlier is the 9-year-old you in terms of like the different versions, but you mentioned spiritual, like emotional and spiritual growth. I'm curious, spiritually, what have you been learning lately and how have you been applying it?
What's the homie's name?
Ray.
Ray. Thank you, Ray.
Bless.
So my pastor is actually here in Atlanta. Well, not in Atlanta, but in the Atlanta Metroplex. Chains Church, Darius Daniels. Forgiveness. It's a big thing, right? And also, we just finished this series called, there's so many things. I'm just talking about what's on top of mind now.
Righto.
Is being goated, right? The greatest of all time is who? Jesus Christ, right? So when you're goated, you're following that, right? And there's this idea of the third way, right? There's, here we go. There's the church's way, right? Which is the religiosity. Then there's the world's way, right? And then there's the third way. And the third way is really following the teachings and the example of Christ, right? And so that has been my constant focus, focusing on that. But the forgiveness bit, which is why I got no hatred in my heart. I got no bitterness in my heart, for what I've done or what people have done to me. I've got nothing because I can't have that, right? What is it? It is easier for a camel to enter through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter through the gates of hell, right?
Yeah.
Why is that? Right? I'm focused on the narrow way, right? Which takes discipline, which takes understanding, which takes healing, and now going to the right doctor, right? Dealing with my therapist, dealing with my court-ordered therapist, dealing with my own private men's group, my pastor, my prophet, Javon Mall, holla at him, right? Like, following that has really allowed me to elevate, and see things clearly. That's the thing about elevation. When you really talk about spirituality, following Christ, I like to keep it real, right? Don't take it the wrong way. You don't get elevated where you're above things. You're elevated where you can see things. You know what I mean? You have a different perspective. So things don't seem so big anymore. Things don't, it gives you guidance. And it's a narrow way, but it gives you guidance. Yeah.
I know you guys spoke on mainstream.
Yeah.
And you talked about being canceled.
Yeah.
I'm curious, as an artist, creatively, when you had to step back, really take a step back and see it for what it was, how did that alter your approach creatively working with mainstream again?
It didn't, right? Because in my opinion, my work was never for anybody. It was for me. You know what I mean? The powers that be, the industry that is, the schools I went to say, oh, we can use this here. We can use this here, right? And sometimes it's a blockbuster, sometimes it's an indie, sometimes it's a podcast, whatever it is, right? So my perspective on that is just, I mean, I got a bigger fire in my belly now because I'm a bigger man. I have more wisdom now. I've got more support now. So when the time comes, and it's coming soon, right? Where I get back in front of a camera to do the work, that's what I'm hoping for, right? That we can bring it together. There shouldn't be a mainstream and a niche. There shouldn't be this media and that media. It should just be media, right? What happens if it's just media and everyone gets to look at it and take what they want from it? Why are we segregating?
For sure.
Right? Why are we segregating art? Why are we segregating media? You know what I mean? Like, we don't want to do that with people, but we're going to do it with people's entertainment and their consciousness. I don't know if I agree with that. But that's the artist's job, right? That's the beautiful thing about being an athlete, right? Being an athlete, you are the great equalizer. You bring everybody together. Everybody likes the Cowboys, not you. Yeah. Everybody, you know what I mean? Everybody likes the Panthers. You know what I mean? Like they're all with it, right? But when it comes to art, right, things that touch your, no disrespect, but things that are meant and curated to touch the heart and the mind, why do we separate those things? Yeah. That's a real question.
Creativity should not be a divide. It should be...
It should bring us together.
Yeah.
It should bring us together. So with what I've learned and what I continue to learn and what I can feel and understand about my instrument as an artist, that's going to be, yes, what the aim is. That's going to be the aim, right? That my next up at bat, right, from the movie I choose to the press tour I do, it brings it all together, right? It brings it all together. Magazine Dreams does that, right? But next at bat, right? First down. That's my focus.
Right up.
For sure.
Appreciate you.
Man, listen. Like, we could keep going on and on and on. But as we end things here at Funky Friday, when I say all together, we're going to say one love. When I say all together, we're going to say one love. When I say all together, we're going to say what?
One love.
One love. We're going to start with this camera, then we're going to go to that camera, then we're going to finish with that camera. Simply an example, I'm going to say one finger, one pinky, one thumb. And when I say all together, we're going to say what?
One love.
Here we go. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. One finger. Got to go with me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait.
Here you go. So we're going to do that.
Oh, I'm going to do you're the captain.
Together.
I thought you was doing
That's
it.
cool. It's all right.
I thought it was the ensemble. I'm the ensemble.
I done sent the doggone signal like an audible, like, bro, like, where you at? Here we go. You ready?
Yep.
One finger. One pinky.
Oh, shit.
One thumb. All together. One love. Ladies and gentlemen, Jonathan Majors. Oh, man. Thank you, bro.
Bro, thank you, man.